our business track of the Data Science Salon YouTube channel. This presentation by Anupama Joshi, Director of AI and Personalization at Target, will go in depth about how it's still difficult for women to progress in tech fields and careers. Anupama talks about how women can create change in both an individual and collective level and shares her experience as well as her colleagues. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. I'm pleased to give a talk around at the DSS Elevate Virtual Salon event. My topic today is advancing career as a woman in technology. My name is Anupama Joshi. A little bit about myself. I'm a director of AI at Target. I manage their personalization, their platform for personalization, and components around site personalization for deals as well as the items. So before I was at Target, what did I do? I was a senior manager at Reddit. I was managing their search and discovery. I was head of engineering at Epinomics. It was a biotech startup. I was head of engineering. I was manager. I was individual contributor. It's a startup, so I was everything. Before that, I was at Chegg, which was an educational startup. That's where I started managing, mentoring people. It was more of where I carefully took my career in my hand for the growth. And my talk is going to be about what happened before when I was an individual contributor at Adobe and VMware. I was a lead engineer there. And then, when I joined and got into management. So it's my personal journey as well as talking about how it taught me how I can actively advance my career. So why this topic is not just advancing career in technology, right? I mean, there are men and there are women, and advancing career is everybody's problem, right? Everybody wants to know how to advance their career. So why this topic is particularly for women, not children, right? Because I have found that there is stylistic difference between men and women, right? How men communicate, how men network, and how women network. Women always have a hint of personal connection between their networking event. It's not as, hey dude, let's meet for drinks and connect. And I don't mean to demean men and their networking in any sense, but it's just that there are different personal styles between men and women. And also when we network, we face an unconscious bias, right? I mean, we have women mentor and we have men colleagues, but in general there is always an unconscious bias between everybody going around, and it's not particularly a fault, but as I said, it's unconscious. So as I mentioned, women network differently than men. The strategies that help men progress in their career may not be appealing or feasible for many women. And I'll get to that in next slides. But because of these, the advancing career for women is slightly different than advancing career for men. Women in technology are growing, but still it's a grim statistics. In 2020, only 20% of the top companies, the Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, employees are female. Though there 57% of all professional occupations in US for 2017 were held by women. 37% of all your bachelor's computer science were women. I'm not going to read you through all the statistics here, but it's still, even though women are getting education, they still in the technology, they're not growing enough. The employees are not enough. Though they start at early level, there are much more higher percentage of women in the workforce. So if you see in the statistics which were published by Lenin and McKinsey company last year, in 2019 there are 48% women who started at the entry level. But as they start growing towards the C-suite, the percentage drops drastically. It's literally you can see the shrinking percentage here, right? And why does that happen? Why less women become manager and senior manager and VP, and why does that happen? And though the women are breaking glasses these days, and many Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs, it's still a percentage of, we talk about them. When we say we talk about them, they are the trailblazers, they are the great women, that means they are less. We don't talk about men being trailblazers or into being a CEO, right? So why is that? So that's some of the things which basically make women's career advancement more harder than men. So how does the success looks like, to people? It's a straight line. No, I generally the success is many failures and many, trial and error. That's what it really looks like. So this is what I wanted to talk about. And, this, when I saw this, I really, like connected with this particular thought process. So dreams of success, what they think it looks like is a straight line, but generally it's a trial by error kind of a success. It just feels like that. I tried this, I didn't try this, and then I went there. But can we cultivate success? Can we be success? What do successful people do generally? Can we learn from their journey of success? And can we create a success on purpose, right? I mean, I love that concept, and that's why I put it forward. And so I want to talk about a little bit about my journey towards it, and in the mean, hopefully, give some tips, how to advance as a woman in our technology field. So when I was in IC, I did everything to advance my career. I was like, very motivated individual. I took up work which was perceived as challenging. I mentored junior engineers. I helped manager giving team updates. I was always there. I was ready. I was like learning. I was hungry to learn everything. You know, um, my mindset was if I do good work, I finish ahead of time. That's all going to matter. My manager will recognize and will take me to the next level. Isn't it my manager's job to recognize my talent and take me to the next level? I never had any regular career conversations with my manager. It generally will happen at the review time, and then that's when it will I'll get some feedback. But then again, there will be another next 1 year or 6 months for having that career conversations. I never had those conversations, and I was like very like, give me this work. I want to learn. I want to learn, and it did get some benefits. I'm not saying that I didn't get anything. I got decent bonus and salary bumps. I was trusted by my manager. Anytime she needed somebody to trust or to deliver something, she always trusted. I'm calling she because I have many women manager in my career. So it's not that I had men manager only and they didn't recognize my talent. I actually had women manager for a long period of time. That was very surprising. But in Adobe as well as in VMware, I had female managers. I learned a lot of new technology because I was like very eager to learn. My manager trusted me, so I got learn all these new technology. But that didn't run into a career growth. It kind of felt like, okay, I'm doing good work, I'm getting rewarded for it, but it didn't felt it was still a job. It was not a career. And you know I figured later on, I figured out why it didn't work a little bit, because there were always limited big ticket items, right? I mean, how much big giant work, challenging work in a project you can have, right? Sometimes I lacked the experience to get the work, as people had more domain knowledge. So when I was in Adobe, we used to work in fonts, and there were people who had very deeper knowledge of fonts, or for images, the color spaces and everything than me. So they got, that some of those challenging works, right? And even though I was ready to learn it, the learning curve was more steeper than and the delivery time was shorter for me to get that work and deliver on that. um, the over availability and over eagerness to learn was showing that I'm not valuing my time. I think that's one thing which I learned, that over availability basically shows that maybe you don't value, you are just there. And I was not bringing out my strengths. I was just trying to learn, and so I was not capitalizing on my strengths. So what changed for me? I after VMware, I took a break from my job, and I started with my own company with my friend. We wanted to start a website for friends recommending each other businesses and services And onboard those businesses for appointments and ads. So we wanted to bring it a network of company, network of friends who are saying, oh, my child goes to this piano class, and I recommend this class. So something like that, of that sort. And we started doing recruiting to get money for the funding the business. So what did I had to do? I This was a very new area for me. I had to get clients for recruiting. So that means I had to sell my talent, which I didn't know if I had, to find them people. And this was a hot economy time. It was not like a slow economy that there were like plenty of people in the marketplace, right? So yes, there were a lot of companies hiring, but there were less number of people. So it was challenging. So I had to not only sell to the companies that I can find talent for them, I had to reach out to people who I didn't know and tell them that, hey, there's this amazing job there. Can you leave your current amazing job, and then can you try and interview for that other job? I also had to interview people with skills I had no clue about for contract positions. So we were finding somebody for contract positions in Arkansas for Walmart, and somewhere else where I was interviewing for people for some skills, SAP, and I didn't even know. I never used them. So, but I was trying to learn and on the fly, and then interview them and also take them and then showcase them to my clients, showing that they're good people. So that's when I realized what I lacked all these years of not seeing a real career growth. So these are the myths which I thought were about the getting ahead, right? If you do your job well, you will be discovered. It's your manager's job to promote you. Your work will speak for itself. It's all about delivery. These were the myths which I thought were kind of held me back. I thought people who are getting ahead are because either they are very good at networking and connecting with people, they know somebody, and that's why they are getting ahead. And this is my I if I do my job well, I'll be ready, and that did not happen. So what was the reality I realized was what about getting ahead? You have to do your job well. That's necessary, but it's not sufficient, right? I mean, never get yourself wrong. You have to do your job well. Without that, it's not good. But don't wait to be discovered. You know, make sure that it comes through that what you're offering. Okay. So as I said, I was offering my time and eager to learn, but I was not building on my strength. What I can offer. So I had to offer my strengths and understand how to present yourself. Get yourself noticed. Nobody's going to just sit there and notice you, right? You have to make sure that get yourself noticed. Be deliberate about your goals and create the success on purpose. You have to want to grow in that career. You can't just say, I'm doing my job well and I will grow. You have to have that purpose in your mind. You have to create that success on purpose. And that is one of the biggest learning which I got. So so some of these the tips which I came from this conclusion of all of these learnings or so much awakening which I had. um, what happened in my business, you'll ask, right? I realized that I am not a person who can live in an anxiety of something which is not concrete. And so basically I didn't pursue the business. I did it for a year, and then I realized that I did get some good clients. I did place some good people, but I found that recruiting is not my passion, and also I think I like the stability of a job and progressing. But it taught me a lot of things, so and which I'm going to share with you. So I stopped my business, and then I found another job, which was when I started at Chegg. Um, First thing which I realized is be vocal. Be vocal. Speak up in meetings. Please do. And that's not like just to speak up for the sake of speaking up. Be succinct and interesting. Get your facts and figures. Talk about metrics and results. Right. So you have to be able to present yourself. So do your homework. Do your work at home. If I have to talk about, I know about a meeting tomorrow, I prepare. I try to figure out, like, what is the meeting about? Do I know anything about it? Do I know the agenda? If I don't know the agenda, I ask about the agenda and I think about it. that what I might have my any opinion about this particular agenda. And also I try to keep it short and interesting, so people don't want to have a rambling of data, but just couple of facts and figures which will just will be useful for the rest of the people in the meeting. Also speak outside in the conferences. I'm not the greatest speaker. I used to be very nervous, and I'm still nervous giving talks, but I got out of the comfort zone and started presenting. First I started presenting in the meetings about the works I started presenting in the company wide meeting. Then I applied to speak in the outside conferences, in the Cassandra Summit and Spark Summit. And it kind of gave me the confidence of that I can talk. You have to prepare, but you'll get there. I think that kind of gives the confidence that outside people are also interested in what you are trying to say, so gives builds up on your confidence. So do be vocal. Second thing was like finding my niche. Finding your niche is very important. You have to become subject matter expert. You have to know what you are doing. When I joined Check, I started working in Cassandra and Solar, and it was both the things were new. NoSQL databases were itself pretty new. I loved Solar. I loved search. I became a subject matter expert. I spent hours figuring out how it is working, how it is scaling. Working with one of the experts inside the company to how to measure the search results, how to measure the relevancy. I became the subject matter expert, and I started presenting around it. That helped me build my brand. That, oh, she knows search, go to her. So that kind of gave me that visibility inside the company, for the search matter. That also gave me my next jobs, which was the as a manager of search at Reddit. So so those are I found other people in the company who needed my expertise. Search was getting used in various groups, so I offered my expertise, sometimes on my own time, but that built my niche of like, okay, she's expert in certain things. Later on, when data scientists started were in the company, I tried to bridge the gap between what the data scientists are talking about and what the business needs, and how to translate that. That gave me another edge over other people, because when the data science was new at that time, there were scientists who were mostly working in R and Excel, and the other, the work which we were doing in Java and like server side programming, they had, it was not bridging the gap of what we needed and what they were offering. I tried to do online courses. I was one of the early courses of machine learning with Andrew Ng, and then tried to bridge that gap, right? So I offered it freely and generously. I worked with the data scientists, I worked with my team, and build that product, and how it can go, grow the product. So I created a discussion channel about my interest about search and data science, and I invited others to participate. That kind of grew my knowledge, and other people also felt that I'm helping them build their knowledge also. So it also kind of give my me all along. It kind of give you confidence that you can do all of these things. You can learn new things. You can teach it to other people. So finding your niche is very, very important. Bring your whole self. I think this is a very important thing. Many times, because particularly as a woman, we are trapped in our biases, right? We feel like, oh my god, I have to present myself properly. I have to keep my problems aside, or my personal things aside, and then I have to deliver in the work environment very neutrally. I should not be picked out as a mom, or as a as like somebody is having some problems, or so I don't want to be called as a, oh, she's an emotional woman. But I found that I think it helps bringing your full self into the work, right? uh, you have to work hard. You have to take on the work, big and small, and take initiatives to fix the broken things. So what does this whole thing means? I mean, this is a little vague, so I'll give you one example. In Czech, we were trying to do, connecting high school students to colleges, and we had great product owners who were trying to get like nice features and things. um, I had a different perspective, which aligned with the product owners, but I was a mom of a high schooler. And so I was going to counselors, I was working at volunteering at public school, I was looking at the softwares which the schools were using, and I had a unique perspective about that product. I was a user, I was actual parent whose child might use that particular product, and I brought that unique perspective, and I showed that, I participated in that, and I gave that perspective. I brought my whole self. I didn't say, okay, this is a job, my other things are my other things, and this is just whatever the POs told, and my manager tells me I'm going to do and build that product. But I kept bringing those other points of view. I showcased them what my counselor was telling, and how things get together. So I gave them perspective of a parent, not only a team member, and that helped. I took initiative to fix those broken things, the gaps between the product, what a parent would want and a child, a student will want, and what we're building. In that process, I met new people across the company. I made friends, and then I expanded my circle. So I think these are very, very key things, because you have to meet new people, you have to make friends, because that's way you are going to get more opportunities and expand your circle. So you can be many times I was the only woman in the team, but I didn't care about it. That is not the trailblazer part which I care about. I try to expand my circle to get more women into my team. So only when I was bringing myself and I said I want another woman in the team, that's when it starts happening. Otherwise, if you say, okay, I'm the trailblazer woman in here, then it does not happen. We have to expand our circle. Find your tribe. I think this is you have to build that network, right? Network of people. You have to seek feedback from people you admire and respect. We had a product director in our company, who I saw that he had groomed the one of the product owners very nicely. I reached out to him and I said, hey, my bosses, and the product, and you have been working with me. I think can you be my mentor? Can you give me, you and me are in the same meetings, give me some feedback about, how I conduct myself, how I present myself. Am I being good, or I'm just being, wasting time? So give me that feedback. So seek feedback from those people you admire and respect, that seek for that mentor, sponsor, or advocate. Make connections. I think I'm making that point in all the slides is make connection. These connections can help you stay aware of opportunities and the roles you will miss otherwise. So because if there is a manager, you want to become a manager, but your team doesn't have a role, but somebody in the other team, and that there is a role opening up in that other group, somebody is going to tell you before it starts going into a on the website, and then you find out, or you never find out till new manager joins, and then you get an email that this person has joined. So make these connections, they are going to help you. Plus these connections go to the other companies, and then they tell them, hey, our company is hiring, please come join. So it's all part of the networking. So you have to find your tribe, your group, expand yourself, seek for mentors, sponsors, and advocate. That has helped me immensely. My mentors, I'm still always in connection. You don't have to meet your mentors like all the time. They are only, they can be helpful in certain situations. They can give you a perspective on certain things. But having that mentor network is very, very useful for our growth. But get sponsors, not just mentors. When you are in a company, just having mentors is not going to be useful. Find people who will advocate for you, not just advise you, right? Because the reason the product director was a great, not only just great mentor, but sponsor for me, because when he was in the same meetings as my bosses, he said, hey, she did this, do better than the other person who did this. So there was somebody who's advocating on behalf of me. Even at Target, I have sponsors who who are in the higher level officer meetings, who talk about my work. What do you think about her? Are we give her that opportunity? why are we giving this person opportunity but not that? So they might ask these questions on your behalf when you are not present. And I think this has helped me in my different companies. So in Reddit, we had a big culture of mentors and sponsors. And my VP at Reddit, he was a great advocate of getting a sponsor, and that helps a lot because there will be somebody advocating on behalf of you when you are not there and you don't even know what's going on. So get that sponsor. Find those people who have your back because they believe in your talent, right? Not because just they want to mentor a woman or something like that, but they are basically, or they are women. It's not because of somebody's woman they have to mentor you, or you know um, they have to believe in your talent to be able to fiercely advocate for you. So get those sponsors. And uh, it's not a easy solution. It's not a easy answer, like who will be your sponsor, who will be your mentor. But you have to make those connections, and that's when you will get those sponsors and mentors, right? um, One sponsor sometimes is enough. Sometimes you will need multiple sponsors. But if you don't make those connections, you don't reach out to people, you don't talk to people, and you don't showcase your talent, you're not going to get that. So get out there, get talking, get showcasing your talent. Follow up with people, talk to them again, hey, what, how did it go? So keep a regular connection, and pay it forward. Do it for the next level of people you're doing. So now that I'm a director, I do it for my managers, my individual contributors, right? So you always have to pay it forward for the next level of people, so that you when you grow, you have a pool of people who are going to follow you into those places. So make sure that don't wait for you to go to a VP and then become a sponsor, but start becoming a sponsor right now, when whatever level you are at. um this is going to be my last point, but not the least point. This is actually a very important point, which I see, why what I realize is, seize opportunity, which generates opportunity. It kind of ties out all these previous points together, right? So there is a rule called Matthew's rule. I heard from one of my ex-colleague from Reddit. She had given a talk, and I learned it from that talk. um, People who have already have status are often placed in situations where they gain more, and those who do not have status typically struggle to achieve more, right? If you have more money, people who have more money get more money. People who are poor generally end up poorer. So you have to be get noticed. You have to be in situations where once you get noticed, you will keep getting noticed. Once you have this opportunity, then you will have more opportunities. Once you have one sponsor, you will get more sponsors. So but you have to seize that opportunity, which generates more and more opportunities, right? So how do you do that? Speak at your schools, speak at the career fairs, volunteer at STEM camps, so that you kind of are advocating for your cause. Boldly represent a career path you have chosen. Like I speak in the companies, talk about biases, talk about women advancement. So the path you are on of advancing the career, talk about that all over the places. Seek opportunities for growth. Work fiercely and fearlessly. I think uh, you don't have to be you don't ha- you know I don't know. It's a very tricky thing. Fiercely is does not mean that you are too aggressive, but you have to work hard and you have to be fearless. Last year I gave a talk in my company about unconscious bias, and I literally had to gather people around to talk about it. And sometimes the debate became fierce because people thought, yeah, I have bias, but isn't that very natural? But I had to talk, and these were my superiors, and I had to talk them fearlessly that yes, and that's the whole point of this talk, that you have this unconscious bias, but it's not okay. So identify it and try to break it. So that's um, I had to be like that authentic self to pave my path for the people who will get into those situations after me, who will be like became more managers, or who will want to grow and how to break that barriers of unconscious bias. I had to give that talk and I have to talk about it, which gave me more opportunities, which gave me opportunities that other groups in Target called me for giving that talk, or other people. My VP, the first time I spoke at the DSS conference last year, that was suggested by my VP. Hey, can you go and represent Target for that talk? So those opportunities kind of generated other opportunities for me. So seize opportunities which will generate more opportunities. And sometimes it will happen automatically, but you have to be conscious. I think that on purpose, career on purpose, you have to want it. You have to, work towards it, and you have to be very, very, specific about it. And that's the main purpose of this talk, that when you as a woman, particularly when you want to grow in a technology field which is a very, very male dominated, you have to be doing it on purpose. It can happen accidentally, but you don't want to just happen it accidentally. You have to make it happen. So this is just in a conclusion side, like all of these things which I talked about, they all go in together. They bringing your whole self, being vocal, seek out champions, not mentors, not just mentors, I should say. Find your tribe, seize opportunities that generate opportunities, and finding your niche. It's all goes hand in hand, and they all take precedence one time or the another, but it all brings it all will help you, no matter what. So please open up your doors, make networking, make small talks to different people, grow your network, be vocal, be yourself. But don't forget to have fun. This is one Cinderella picture which I really liked. I think these days, we are never waiting for doing something fun. We are always going and rushing. Oh, because I have to finish this, I have to do this. So take your time, have fun. I think that's also very, very, very important. So I want to conclude my talk by thanking all of you for listening. Please, if any questions, do reach out to me. My address is anupama.joshi@gmail.com, and anytime you want any advice, just talk to somebody who has gone through this, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
That was a presentation by Anupama Joshi, Director of AI and Personalization at Target, who shared her experience as well as her colleagues on how to advance and succeed in their tech fields and careers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the button below. Thank you.